Time. Forget Black Friday. The way unions are mobilizing against Walmart, get ready for Black and Blue Friday. Now, the media's all over what they're doing to bash Walmart. We thought we'd do the fair and balanced thing and just talk to Walmart. Getting down to business, Fox Business, with the president of the biggest retailer in the business. After this. Here we go again. You hear a lot about all these Walmart protests. How about the Walmart promotions, the #1 retailer in America and the world, just announcing 25,000 such promotions. So fair and balanced on Fox Business tonight, and only Fox Business. You're going to hear Walmart's side of things from the man running all U.S. things. Take a peek.
This is a great opportunity for us to talk about how proud we are of our people and how proud we are of jobs in retail. Our associates have asked us to stand up for them, and we are. Today, for example, at town halls in 3 cities across the country, we called associates together and invited them to what amounts to a regular conversation that we have with our associates. But unbeknownst to them, each of them had applied for a promotion, and we brought them all together, and they found out kind of live simulcast that they'd all been promoted. And it is a really, really fabulous event.
When you say promoted, I mean a bump up in position and pay, or how does it work?
Oh, they are all increases in position and responsibility and pay. In fact, every year, as you said, 160,000 people in our business get promoted. About 40% of them in their first year. And you know, our folks love working for us so much. We have 300,000 who've been with us for more than 10 years. And so we're proud of our jobs and we're proud of our people, and we wanted the opportunity to talk about that.
I also understand, Mr. Steinman, that a disproportionate number of those workers zealously volunteer to work Thanksgiving. That doesn't get much coverage, but what's the draw to working on Thanksgiving?
Well, most people might not know this, Neil, but we've been open on Thanksgiving Day since probably the late 80s. It's part of who we are as a company. When you serve customers, you serve them when they want to shop. And so it's an opportunity for us to provide customers a chance to buy the products that they need for their Thanksgiving Day meal. And as the opportunity for Black Friday began to evolve, it really wasn't that difficult for us to shift the timing. So we take care of our associates. As you said, they all get holiday pay. They all get a very, very deep discount on the products that we sell for their Christmas dinner and their Christmas giving. And of course, we take care of them with a very nice Thanksgiving Day meal.
Does it bother you then, and you've heard this ad nauseum, that you're just the opposite? You'd almost think that those workers were chained to shelves. Every time I've gone into a Walmart, I've yet to see that, but to hear the prevailing media view is you're awful.
It bothers me because it diminishes and disrespects to a certain extent those people who work very, very hard to serve customers in our stores and take care of their fellow community members and are really moving forward in their lives. You can join us at any life stage in your journey from 16 all the way to 76. Plug in at every level, and we offer opportunities, really virtually any job you can think of except maybe astronaut. And when people make those choices and work hard to build a better life for their families and themselves, we need to stand up for them. They've asked us to do that, and we are.
Much more with Walmart's U.S. CEO tonight at 8 p.m. on FPM. But first, will this move quiet its union critics? Charles Payne thinks so, says it should happen, but former union official Stuart Acuff says think again. So, Charles, in the battle for the public's attention and sympathy, who wins?
You know what? I never thought Walmart was a big negative public bad guy, if you will. You know, listen, it's because some of the media said it was, because some unions and some activists said it was. I've been around the country, and I've been to places where Walmarts are. I've seen when they've opened up. I've seen the applications. I've seen people stand in line. Then I've seen the democratization. People with flat screen color televisions that are watching this show right now that would not have had them if it wasn't for the Walmart business model. So there's over 1 million people in this country, 2 million people around the world that are really grateful that Walmart exists, and they all have family members, and they are in towns where people get this and they understand it. So I never thought they were the villains that some of the media portrayed them to be.
Marshall, the argument that comes up, if Walmart were so bad, then people would be so repulsed they would never shop at Walmart. Stuart, I'm sorry.
Oh, well, you know, now we've never declared a boycott of Walmart, and now We're encouraging union members to go to Walmart and talk to their associates or their workers about why they need a union. The truth of the matter is Walmart is collecting canned goods from its own employees to give to other employees because they're so poverty-ridden. And the truth is that the number one demographic.
I'm sorry. Are you saying that if Walmart were unionized, you would leave them alone?
Yeah, absolutely. Because they could negotiate a contract with their employees. The number one demographic for Medicaid usage is Walmart employees in the country because it's a poverty-level company. And the family, the Waltons in Bentonville, Arkansas, are making tons of money, hand over fist, and the company is driving the global economic race to the bottom.
What do you think of that, Charles? That they're a target. Now, I can think of the Macy's and the Targets and all that, where you have similar labor disparities. But what do you make of that?
You know, it's interesting. In the footage that you showed of one of the protests, I saw one sign that says, I work at Walmart, I make $8.50 an hour. Then I saw another sign that says, I work at Walmart, I make $11.50 an hour. You know, we already heard the president talk about the upward mobility there. The idea that hundreds of thousands of people have chosen to work there for well over a decade, I think speaks for itself. You know, another way of looking at this is not that somehow the U.S. taxpayer is supplementing Walmart, but that maybe Walmart's supplementing the U.S. taxpayer, because I got to tell you, there are a lot of towns, if they didn't exist, there's a gigantic difference from making $11 an hour than making zero. A huge difference.
And all of those levels are above the minimum wage, right, Stuart? I mean, aren't only 2% are paid at the minimum wage at Walmart?
Yeah, but $8.50 an hour is not a livable wage, and neither is $11.50 an hour. There's a huge difference between $17 or $18 an hour at a union grocery store.
So would you apply that to all retailers, that they all pay $17, $18 an hour as a minimum? And then would you take the next leap to other stores?
No. What I would suggest is that other retailers allow their workers to form unions and negotiate in good faith. That's the American way. It's not governmental. It's an organic way to fix problems on the job. And to hear Walmart bragging about a small minority of people who get out of poverty is laughable. I mean, listen, this is the truth.
They have jobs, right? Charles, your point is they have jobs, right?
They have jobs. And they have jobs, and they're lining up to get jobs. The unions are creating jobs.
I see where they've destroyed them in a whole lot of industries, and I got to tell you, there are people probably shaking in their boots who work at Walmart hoping you guys don't ruin that company.
That is flat wrong.
Well, we won't know.
The reason so many people line up for jobs at Walmart is because Walmart has destroyed so many small employers.
We can argue this ad nauseum, guys. I just want to remind FBN viewers, this is your opportunity here from Walmart and its U.S. CEO. Who's being fair? Who's being right? Who's scalping whom? Tonight on FBN and only FBN.